The weak humans. The Great Hall of the Galactic Council was the most beautiful place in the universe. Golden walls stretched up to the sky. Floating lights danced in the air like tiny stars. 50 different alien species sat in a giant circle. Some had blue skin, some had 4 arms, some had no eyes at all. But they all had one thing in common. They all believed they were better than everyone else. Emperor Valtrix sat on his floating throne at the center. His skin was dark purple. His eyes glowed like red fire. He had ruled the Galactic Empire for 300 years. No one dared to challenge him. No one dared to even look at him directly. Today, the council was discussing something boring, a new species, a small, weak species from a tiny planet called Earth. Humans. Ambassador Krell said the word like it was a bad joke. He was a tall creature with grey skin and sharp teeth. These humans have just discovered space travel. They sent us a message. They want to join the galactic community. Soft laughter filled the hall. I have seen images of these creatures, said Lady Vexis. She had 4 arms and scales like a snake. They are so small, so fragile. One of our children could break them with a single hand. More laughter. Ambassador Threx stood up. He was from the Zorin Empire, the second most powerful species in the galaxy. His body was like a mountain of muscle. How long do these humans live? He asked. Approximately 80 years, Krell answered. The laughter became louder. 80 years was nothing. Most species in the council lived for 500 years or more. Emperor Valtrix himself was over 600 years old. 80 years! Threx was laughing so hard that tears fell from his 6 eyes. What can anyone do in 80 years? They probably die before they learn to walk properly. The whole council was laughing now. The sound echoed through the Golden Hall like thunder. Emperor Valtrix raised one hand. Silence fell immediately. Tell me more about these insects, the Emperor said. His voice was soft but dangerous. Krell bowed deeply. Your Majesty, humans are weak in every way. Their bodies are soft. They have no claws, no armor, no natural weapons. Their planet is small. Their technology is primitive. Their ships are slow and poorly built. Any useful resources on their planet? Nothing special, Your Majesty. Water, metals, some basic minerals. Nothing we cannot find elsewhere. Valtrix nodded slowly. And their military power? This time the laughter was so loud that the floating lights flickered. Military power. Krell could barely speak through his laughter. Your Majesty, their entire fleet could not defeat one of our patrol ships. They are no threat. They will never be a threat. They are simply insects playing with toys. Emperor Valtrix smiled. It was not a kind smile. It was the smile of a predator looking at easy prey. Very well, he said. We will give them a planet. Show the galaxy how generous the Empire can be. Krell looked surprised. Give them a planet, Your Majesty? But why waste resources on such a useless species? Because it amuses me, Valtrix replied. Give them planet X-47, the frozen wasteland at the edge of our territory. Let them struggle to survive there. It will be entertaining to watch. More laughter filled the hall. Planet X-47 was famous for being terrible. Freezing temperatures, deadly storms, almost no resources. Many species had tried to live there. All had failed. A brilliant idea, Your Majesty. Lady Vexis clapped her 4 hands together. We can watch them slowly freeze and die, like insects under a glass. Exactly. Emperor Valtrix leaned back on his throne. Inform the humans. Tell them we are giving them a wonderful gift, a whole planet just for them. Tell them we welcome them to the galactic community. He laughed coldly. They will be so grateful. They will thank us with tears in their tiny eyes. And then we will watch them die, slowly, painfully, as all weak species should. The council applauded. They cheered for their clever emperor. They laughed at the stupid humans who would accept this deadly gift with smiles on their faces. None of them noticed the small human standing in the shadows at the back of the hall. Ambassador David Chen had been invited to observe the meeting. He heard every word, every laugh, every insult. His face showed nothing, no anger, no sadness, just calm observation. But deep inside, something changed. Something cold and hard formed in his heart. He quietly took out a small device and recorded everything. Every insult, every laugh, every cruel word. Then he turned and walked away silently. 5 years. In just 5 years, every alien in this room would learn a terrible truth. They would learn that humans were not insects. They would learn that 80 years was more than enough time for revenge. They would learn that silence was not weakness. It was patience. The silent years. 5 years passed like a whisper in the wind. The Galactic Empire forgot about humans completely. They were too small to remember, too weak to worry about. The Emperor and his council continued their lives of luxury and power. They conquered new planets. They crushed rebellions. They laughed and feasted while billions suffered under their rule. But on planet X-47, something was happening. The frozen wasteland was not so frozen anymore. Deep underground, where no satellite could see, humans were building. Factories worked day and night, machines hummed with power, scientists worked without sleep, engineers created things that had never existed before. Ambassador David Chen had returned from the council meeting with more than just a recording. He had returned with fire in his heart. He showed the recording to every human leader, every scientist, every soldier, every citizen. They all heard the laughter. They all heard the word insects. They all felt the same cold anger forming in their hearts. "They think we are weak," David Chen said to the United Human Council. "They gave us this frozen death trap and called it a gift. They are waiting for us to die." The room was silent. "But we will not die," Chen continued. "We will do what humans have always done. We will survive. We will adapt. We will overcome, and when we are ready," he paused, "we will make them regret every single laugh." The humans found something on planet X-47, something the Empire did not know existed. Deep beneath the ice, there were ruins, ancient ruins of a species called the Vellani. They had died 500 years ago, killed by the Empire, erased from history. But before they died, they left a gift for whoever came next. Technology, weapons, knowledge. Everything the Vellani had created in 10,000 years of civilization. And something else. A message. The message told a terrible story. The Vellani were once like humans, small, weak, short lives. The Empire had given them a frozen planet too, called them insects, left them alone for years. Then, when the Vellani had wasted all their resources trying to survive, the Empire attacked. They killed every single Vellani, men, women, children, all gone. The Empire had done this to 12 species over the centuries. Planet X-47 was not a gift, it was a death trap. The Empire was waiting for humans to become weak. Then they would attack. When David Chen read this message, his blood turned to ice, then it turned to fire. "They planned to kill us from the beginning," he told the council. "Every smile, every kind word was a lie. They are waiting for us to die slowly, and if we do not die fast enough, they will finish the job themselves." The council was silent for a long moment. Then General Sarah Morrison stood up. She was a small woman with grey hair and steel in her eyes. "Then we have only one choice. We prepare for war. Not someday. Now." The humans studied the Vellani technology. They learned secrets that the Empire had never discovered. They combined Vellani knowledge with human creativity, and they created something terrifying. Ships. Massive black ships with weapons that could destroy moons, shields that could stop any attack, engines that could cross the galaxy in hours. In 5 years, humans built what should have taken 500 years. because humans did not waste time. Every second of their short lives was precious. They worked faster, thought faster, created faster than any species in the galaxy. The Empire had laughed at human lifespans. They did not understand. Short lives did not mean weakness. Short lives meant urgency, passion, determination. Humans knew they had no time to waste, so they never wasted any. On the last day of the 5th year, Ambassador David Chen stood before the United Human Council one final time. 5 years ago they called us insects, he said. Today we have 2,000 warships. Each one is 6 times larger than anything the Empire has ever built. Each one carries weapons they cannot even imagine. He looked at the faces around him. Scientists, soldiers, leaders, all waiting. 5 years ago they laughed at us. Today, he smiled coldly, today, we make them scream. Admiral James Morrison took command of the fleet. He was a quiet man with cold eyes. He had watched his daughter cry when she heard the recording of the council meeting. He had promised her that one day those aliens would cry too. Today was that day. All ships, Morrison spoke into the communicator. Begin launch sequence. 2,000 massive black ships rose from the underground bases of planet X-47. They moved in perfect formation, silent, deadly, unstoppable. On the side of each ship, 2 words glowed in white light. Earth's vengeance. The fleet entered hyperspace. Destination, the heart of the Galactic Empire. 6 hours later, the human fleet appeared in the sky above the Empire's capital. Emperor Valtrix stood on his palace balcony. His hands were shaking, his red eyes were wide with disbelief. The sky was dark, not because of clouds, but because 2,000 massive ships were blocking the sun. Each ship was black as night. Each ship was bigger than anything the Empire had ever built. Impossible, Valtrix whispered. This is impossible. Admiral Zorath stood beside him. The old soldier had served the Empire for 200 years. He had never felt fear. But today, looking at those ships, his heart was filled with terror. Your Majesty, Zorath said quietly, what do we do? Before Valtrix could answer, every screen in the capital flickered. A human face appeared, a man with grey hair and cold eyes. Emperor Valtrix, the human said, my name is Admiral James Morrison. On behalf of Earth and all humanity, I have a message for you. Valtrix could not speak. His throat was dry. 5 years ago you called us insects. You gave us a frozen wasteland and laughed. You thought we would die quietly. You were wrong. Morrison leaned forward. We did not spend 5 years crying. We spent them building ships, building weapons, building an army that would make your empire tremble. He paused. You have 1 hour to surrender. If you refuse, we will destroy your fleet. Then we will take your throne. Choose wisely. The screen went black. Emperor Valtrix chose to fight. It was a stupid choice, a choice born from pride and arrogance. But Valtrix could not accept that insects had beaten him. He refused to believe it. Launch all ships, he commanded. Every warship in the Empire. We will crush these humans like the bugs they are. Admiral Zorath wanted to argue. He had seen those human ships. He knew this was suicide, but he was a soldier. He followed orders. 4,000 Imperial warships rose from the capital. It was the largest fleet in galactic history. Surely, 4,000 ships could defeat 2,000. Admiral Zorath took command from his flagship. All ships, target the largest human vessel. Fire on my command. 4,000 ships aimed their weapons. Fire! Thousands of plasma beams shot toward the human fleet, bright blue death racing through space. The beams hit the human ships directly. Perfect shots. Nothing happened. Zorath stared at his screen. Report! What is the damage? His weapons officer's voice was shaking. Admiral, no damage. 0 damage. Their shields absorbed everything. Impossible. Those shots can destroy moons. Admiral, the human ships are moving. Zorath looked up. 2,000 human ships slowly turned. Their weapon ports opened. Strange blue light glowed inside. Then Admiral Morrison's voice came through all channels. Calm, cold. "Thank you for shooting first. Now we can call this self-defense." A single human ship fired. One shot. The blue beam cut through 50 Imperial warships like they were made of paper. Ships did not explode. They simply vanished, vaporized in less than a second. Screams filled the communications. "All shields failed. Weapons have no effect. We are going to die." Zorath grabbed his communicator. "All ships retreat. I repeat, retreat." Too late. All 2,000 human ships fired together. In 2 minutes, 3,000 Imperial warships were destroyed. The remaining 1,000 surrendered immediately. The mighty Galactic Empire's fleet was gone, just gone. In 2 minutes, Emperor Valtrix was captured and brought to Admiral Morrison's ship. The once mighty Emperor was pushed into a simple room. No golden walls, no floating throne, just metal and cold light. Morrison sat at a table. His face showed nothing. "Sit," he said. Valtrix sat. His crown was gone. His fancy robes were torn. He looked small and old. "Why?" Valtrix asked. "Why this attack? We gave you a planet. We welcomed you. Why this war?" Morrison laughed, but it was not a happy laugh. "You gave us a death trap," he said. "The same death trap you gave to the Villani and the Krix and the Solani and 12 other species." Valtrix's face turned pale. "Yes," Morrison nodded. "We found the Villani ruins. We read their message. We know everything. You were never kind to us. You were waiting for us to die, and when we did not die fast enough, you would have killed us yourself." He stood up. "But we are not the Villani. We do not break. We do not give up. When you pushed us into darkness, we did not cry. We built weapons in that darkness. Weapons to destroy you." Valtrix was shaking now. What will you do to me? Kill me?" "No," Morrison shook his head. "Death is too easy. You will live. You will be sent to a frozen planet, a wasteland, just like you gave us. You will survive on minimum resources. You will feel the cold every day, and every day you will remember what you did, how you laughed at us, how we destroyed everything you built." He smiled coldly. "You wanted to watch humanity die slowly in the cold. Now you will experience it yourself, forever." Guards dragged Valtrix away. The former Emperor was screaming, "You cannot do this! I am the Emperor! I am—" The door closed on his screams. In the following months, the galaxy changed completely. Admiral Morrison sent a message to every planet. He showed evidence of the Empire's crimes. The genocide of 12 species, the death trap planets, the lies and cruelty. Species across the galaxy were shocked. Many had been allies of the Empire. They had no idea about these crimes. Ambassadors from dozens of species came to meet humanity. They were nervous and scared. They had seen what human weapons could do. Ambassador David Chen led the negotiations, the same man who had been pushed and insulted 5 years ago. Now every alien treated him with deep respect. "We do not want to rule the galaxy," Chen told them. "We are not like the Empire. We want peace. We want cooperation. We want all species to be equal." The aliens were surprised. They expected revenge. They expected cruelty. Instead, they found fairness. "Our conditions are simple," Chen continued. "No slavery, no genocide, no attacking weaker species. All beings are equal, regardless of size or lifespan." One by one, the species agreed. A new galactic council was formed, not ruled by one empire, but shared by all species equally. Humanity did not take over. They did not become the new tyrants. They simply made sure that no one would ever be treated like insects again. 1 year later, Admiral Morrison stood on Earth's new space station. He looked out at the stars. So many stars, so many possibilities. Ambassador Chen joined him. "Strange," Chen said. 5 years ago, we were insects. Now species from across the galaxy ask for our help." Morrison nodded. "We proved something important. Power is not about size. It is not about how long you live. It is about will, creativity, determination. He paused. They spent centuries feeling superior. We spent 5 years proving them wrong. Chen smiled. What now? What do we do with all this power? We protect, Morrison said. We build. We help others. We make sure that no species ever has to feel what we felt. Fear, humiliation, the knowledge that powerful beings want you dead. He turned to Chen. The Empire ruled through fear. We will lead through example. We will show the galaxy that strength and kindness can exist together. Admiral Morrison sent one final message to the galaxy. Citizens of the galaxy, humanity came to you seeking peace. We were given insults and a death trap. We could have become like the Empire. We could have conquered and destroyed, but that is not who we are. We chose justice over revenge, cooperation over domination, and we will continue on this path. His voice became firm. But make no mistake, if any species ever tries to harm humanity or our allies, they will face the full power of Earth's fleet. We do not start fights, but we finish them. He smiled warmly. The era of empires is over. The era of cooperation has begun, and humanity will be here, standing guard for as long as the stars shine. And so, the galaxy learned an important lesson. Never judge a species by its size. Never mistake silence for weakness. Never laugh at those who seem small and helpless. Because the smallest creature can have the biggest heart, the shortest life can burn the brightest, and the quietest voice can become the loudest roar. The aliens had called humans insects. They had laughed at their short lives. They had given them a frozen death trap and waited for them to die. But humans did not die. They survived, they adapted, they built, they rose. And in the end, the insects conquered the giants, not through cruelty, not through revenge, but through determination, creativity, and an unbreakable will to survive. This is the story of humanity, the species that was laughed at, the species that was underestimated, the species that proved everyone wrong. Humanity, the insects that shook the galaxy,